In this part of my presentation, I will discuss about the vitamin D and its clinical evidences, which are published in various review articles and the research publication on COVID-19. The review article entitled "The Possible Role of Vitamin D in Suppressing Cytokine Storm and Associated Mortality in COVID-19 Patients" was published by the Department of Biomedical Engineering, Northwestern University and Boston Medical Center by Ali Dashamkar et al. Large-scale data show that the mortality of vitamin D varies dramatically across the population, although the cause of this disparity is not well understood. In the present study, the authors have investigated whether severe COVID-19 is linked to vitamin D deficiency. Daily admission, recovery and disease rate data for patients with COVID-19 from countries with a large number of confirmed patients were studied. The patients from Germany, South Korea, China, Switzerland, Iran, UK, USA, France, Spain and Italy were analyzed during the mid-April 2020. The time-adjusted case mortality ratio, that is known as TCMR, was leveraged to establish the link between vitamin D and C-reactive protein and between C-reactive protein and severe COVID-19 respectively to estimate the potential impact of vitamin D on the reduction of severe COVID infection. This graph shows the prevalence of COVID-19 percentage in various countries during the observation period of 14 days. We can see here that the highest prevalence rate was 27% in Italy. It was 25% in Spain and 25% in France. It was lowest, that is 3%, in South Korea. This figure shows the association of 25-hydroxy vitamin D levels and ACMR, that is average case mortality rate, in various countries. The left side histogram shows the vitamin D levels in various country population of having age more than 60 years. On the right side histogram, you see the average case mortality obtained in various countries. The vitamin D levels were found to be highest in USA population, whereas it was lowest in United Kingdom. Correspondingly, the average case mortality rate was lowest in US population and it was highest in population in United Kingdom. Again, suggesting that there is a correlation between the level of vitamin D and the mortality in patients, those who are more than 60 years of age. This figure shows the mean 25-hydroxy vitamin D concentration in elderly population in Germany and South Korea and their relationship with average case mortality rate. The population in Germany, the average vitamin D concentration was very low as compared to South Korea population, and correspondingly the average case mortality rate was very high in Germany as compared to South Korea. This figure shows the age distribution of hospitalized and patients those who are admitted in ICU in Spain. We can see here on the left side histogram that more than 50% of hospital admission was seen when the patient are more than 60 years of age. Similarly, when you see the ICU admission percentage, it was also high when the patient is having age group more than 60 years. The possibility of cytokine storm is very high in individual those who are having higher age group, that is more than 60 years. These two tables shows the risk of severe and mild COVID-19 and its relationship between the C-reactive protein and vitamin D levels. We can see on the table here that when the CRP is very high, the risk of COVID mortality was very high, that is about 61%. When CRP is low, the risk was 39%. When comparing the CRP level and severe COVID, we find that when CRP is very high, the severe COVID percentage is 81. When CRP is low, it is only 19%. So there is a strong relationship between severe deficiency of vitamin D and high CRP. And number two, patients with severe vitamin D deficiency have 1:4 times higher risk of high CRP. This schematic diagram shows the relationship between interleukin 6 and CRP, that is inflammatory biomarkers, and COVID-19 mortality. With the increase in interleukin 6 and CRP, there is an increase in the rate of mortality. Again, it shows that there is a relationship of the inflammatory biomarker and death in COVID-19. The take-home message from this review article: number one, the death with COVID-19 is more in older patients. Number two, vitamin D deficiency is more common in older population than young population. Number three, higher death rate and severe COVID-19 infection was more associated with high level of CRP. And number four, higher CRP is significantly associated with vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D protects against colds and flu, finds the major global study. This research news was published in Science Daily by Professor Andrew Martin of University of Queen's Mary, London. Vitamin D supplements protect against acute respiratory infection including colds and flu, according to this study. This study provides the most robust evidence yet that vitamin D has benefits beyond bone and muscle health. The information given in this research letter is based on the result which is published in British Medical Journal and are based on the new analysis of raw data from around 11,000 participants in 25 clinical trials conducted in 14 countries including UK, USA, Japan, India, Afghanistan, Belgium, Italy, Australia and Canada. Individually, these trials yielded conflicting results, with some reporting that vitamin D protects against respiratory infection and others showing no effect. Professor Adrian said this major collaborative research effort has yielded the first definite evidence that vitamin D really does protect against respiratory infection. Our analysis of pooled raw data from each of the 10,933 trial participants allowed us to address the thorny question of why vitamin D works in some trials but not in others. The bottom line is that the protective effect of vitamin D supplementation are strongest in those who have lowest vitamin D level when the supplementation is given daily or weekly rather than more widely spaced doses. The study was conducted by a consortium of 25 investigators from 21 institutions worldwide and was funded by the National Institute of Health Research. This study, entitled Pattern of COVID-19 Mortality and Vitamin D, an Indonesian study, was conducted by Professor Prabhu Raharsunna between March 2020 to April 24, 2020. It was conducted in 780 COVID-19 patients. This table shows the demography and the clinical characteristics of patient sample. Total 790 patients were enrolled. Out of that, 380 patients expired and 400 patients recovered. If you see the lower part of the table on left side, vitamin D status has been divided into normal, insufficient and deficient. The column of expired patient, if you see here, you will find that the death rate was 4.2% only when the vitamin D was normal. But when vitamin D was insufficient and deficient, the death rate was 49.1 and 46.7 respectively. If you see the column where the patients recovered, you will find when the vitamin D levels were normal, the recovery was 93%, which was highly significant, p less than 0.001. So there is a definite correlation between the vitamin D levels and mortality in COVID-19 patient. The clinical characteristics of patient and the dynamics of vitamin D status is shown in this table. The status is divided into three: vitamin D below 20 nanogram per ml, between 20 to 30 nanogram per ml, and vitamin D more than 30 nanogram per ml. If you see the death percentage, there was 98.9% death when the vitamin D levels were below 20 nanogram per ml. It was 87.8% when vitamin D is between 20 to 30 nanogram per ml, and it was only 4.1 when vitamin D was more than 30 nanogram per ml. If you see the patient who recovered, 95.9% patient improved when the vitamin D levels were more than 30 nanogram. Again, it shows that there is a relationship between increased mortality and the low level of vitamin D in COVID-19. The key findings of this study: majority of the COVID-19 cases with insufficient and deficient vitamin D status died. The odds of death was higher in older and male cases with pre-existing condition and below normal vitamin D levels. When controlling for age, sex and comorbidity, vitamin D status is strongly associated with COVID-19 mortality. A randomized control trial are warranted to investigate the role of vitamin D supplementation on COVID-19 outcome and to establish the underlying mechanism of vitamin D in COVID-19 patients. Global pandemic of coronavirus and COVID-19. What we can do to minimize the risk. This is very interesting review article published by Professor Sunil J. Vimala Vansa in European Journal of Biomedical and Pharmaceutical Sciences, Volume 7, Issue 3 in year 2020. This is a picture of COVID-19 virus. This picture shows the various possible therapeutic targets for COVID-19 and prevention of cytokine release syndrome. The drug targets include number 1, angiotensin converting enzyme 2, then second is pattern recognizing receptor, that is also known as PPRS, then various metalloprotein 17, also known as ADMA17, then TNF alpha, interleukin 6, and then NFKB. So these are some of the potential targets for drug development for COVID-19. This picture shows the generic structure of coronavirus including COVID-19 and the various sites where the drug molecule can act, like glycoprotein trimer, viral nucleotide and RNA genome, membrane protein, hemagglutinin esterase dimer, small envelope protein pentamer. The key site in the virus where vitamin D acts is the small envelope protein pentamer. In conclusion, number 1, oral loading dose of vitamin D of 2 and 3 lakhs international unit as a single dose with micronutrient will be useful in COVID-19. Number 2, this will strengthen the immune system rapidly within 3 to 5 days. Number 3, it is cost effective and will reduce the risk of contacting COVID-19. Number 4, the single high dose can be used in hospital and community for a disease preventing strategy. And number 5, this is most cost effective approach for COVID-19 prophylaxis. The current state of knowledge on the topic of COVID-19 versus vitamin D, based on the published scientific and the clinical studies, was presented in May 2020 by Lawrence and Bird. More than 3 lakh people have already fallen victim to COVID-19 virus worldwide. Since there are currently no effective drug and no vaccine against COVID-19 disease, it seems that we can only choose between two options. One, either a further partial lockdown with physical distance to other people, including hygiene protection measures with non-economical and social consequences, or the acceptance of thousands more deaths, especially amongst our old fellow citizens. Scientific and clinical studies suggesting an alternative treatment options are apparently ignored. One of these promising approach is the treatment with vitamin D, and available studies on COVID-19 patients suggest that a large proportion of death could possibly be prevented and severe course could be reduced to milder one. On the basis of available publication, the following procedure appears to be reasonable, which, if carried out correctly, does not have any clinical side effect, and this can be adopted as a preventive measure using vitamin D supplement for our population with timely focus on doctors, nursing staff and risk patients. Possibly there is a very important role of vitamin D as a prophylactic agent. This graph shows the correlation of COVID-19 death rate and vitamin D levels. The left side axis represents the death rate percentage, while the right axis represents average age. The bottom axis is vitamin D concentration in nanogram per ml. If you see here, when the vitamin D levels are about 20 nanogram per ml, the death rate percentage was very high, more than 90%. Similarly, when the average age is about 90 years, the death rate percentage is also almost 90. When you see the concentration of vitamin D at about 32 nanogram, the death rate is very low, that is about 10%, and when the average age is about 20 years, even the death rates are very low, suggesting that there is a correlation of increase in the death rate associated with increase in the age and low vitamin D concentration. On the basis of various scientific evidences, vitamin D deficiency with blood concentration below 20 nanogram per ml lead to deregulation of renin-angiotensin system. As a result, the virus is able to attack the lung cells and cause atypical pneumonia, also known as ARDS. As a further consequence, a so-called cytokine storm, which is a overreaction of immune system, develops, which can trigger further and can lead to eventually death of the patient. Sufficiently high vitamin D concentration in blood greater than 30 nanogram per ml or even better than 40 nanogram per ml can inhibit or eventually complete prevent this deadly chain of events. Vitamin D stimulates the production of body own viral defensive substances, so-called defensin and cathelicidin. In the case of COVID-19 infection, these substances ensure that the spike protein on the virus surface are blocked, thereby significantly reducing the efficiency of docking process to our body cells via the angiotensin converting to enzyme receptors. So this is a very important scientific basis of using vitamin D for the treatment of COVID-19 infection. The study which is carried out in Indonesia by Dr. Prabowo Raharusan, there is a very sharp drop in the death rate in the range of blood levels between 27 to 32 nanogram of vitamin D. At vitamin D levels above 32 nanogram per ml, the death rate determined in this study is a factor of 10 lower than the vitamin D levels below 27 nanogram. So, the blood levels more than 32 nanograms are quite effective in preventing the death in COVID-19 patient. The usefulness of vitamin D in COVID-19 infection can be further confirmed by some of the important clinical studies published. In patients with vitamin D levels below 20 nanogram per ml, the mortality in intensive care unit is a factor of 10 higher than in patients with vitamin D levels above 30 nanogram per ml. In COVID-19 patient already hospitalized, the administration of high dose of vitamin D reduces the duration of treatment in intensive care unit by half. In patient already ventilated for pneumonia, the death rate is also reduced by half. The available new studies from Indonesia, Philippines, India, Iran and USA, which clearly show that vitamin D deficiency can be very decisive factor in the known fatal complication of COVID-19 infection. Professor Manson's statement on May 11, 2020 about COVID-19 and vitamin D. We have known for a long time that it is important to avoid vitamin D deficiency for bone health, cardiometabolic health and other purposes. But it may be even more important now than ever. There is emerging and growing evidence that vitamin D status may be relevant to the risk of developing COVID-19 infection and to the severity of the disease. Vitamin D is important to innate immunity and boost immune function against viral diseases. We also know that vitamin D has an immune modulating effect and can lower inflammation, and this may be relevant to the respiratory response during COVID-19 infection and the cytokine storm that has been demonstrated. Further statement from Professor Manson. In an observational study from 3 South Asian hospitals, the prevalence of vitamin D deficiency was much higher among those in the severe COVID illness compared to those with mild illness. In fact, there was about an 8-fold higher risk of having severe illness among those who entered with vitamin D deficiency compared with those who had sufficient vitamin D levels. A study which is published in British Medical Journal 2 years ago showing that vitamin D supplementation was associated with significant reduction in these respiratory tract infections. Overall, it was only a 12% reduction, but among the participants who had profound vitamin D deficiency at baseline, there was 70% reduction in the respiratory infection with the supplementation of vitamin D. Potential role of vitamin D in respiratory infection. Epidemiological studies, including several meta-analyses, have shown that people with low vitamin D levels have a higher risk of acute respiratory tract infection and community-acquired pneumonia. While these data do not necessarily infer causality, multiple molecular mechanisms have been identified by which vitamin D deficiency impairs resistance to viral respiratory tract infection. There are also significant number of studies, including several meta-analyses, which have indicated that vitamin D supplementation may reduce the likelihood of acute respiratory tract infection and decrease its severity and duration where such infection does occur. Potential role of vitamin D in respiratory infection. Epidemiological studies, including several meta-analyses, have shown that people with low vitamin D levels have a higher risk of acute respiratory tract infection and community-acquired pneumonia. While these data do not necessarily infer causality, multiple molecular mechanisms have been identified by which vitamin D deficiency impairs resistance to viral respiratory tract infection. There are also significant number of studies, including several meta-analyses, which have indicated that vitamin D supplementation may reduce the likelihood of acute respiratory tract infection and decrease its severity and duration where such infection does occur. This paper was published by Maria Angelis et al. From Spain on the role of vitamin D in human immunodeficiency viral infection, that is HIV infection, and its influence on immunity and the disease. This picture shows the effect of vitamin D on metabolic pathway and actions on body system. Vitamin D has got two actions. One is the endocrine action, which is responsible for calcium and phosphorus metabolism, bone remodeling, maintenance of blood pressure and insulin secretion. The other effect of vitamin D is on autocrine and paracrine action, which is responsible for the other activity of vitamin D related to viral infection. This includes the effect on cell proliferation and differentiation and effect on immune system. So these are the two major actions of vitamin D. The antiviral activity is because of effect on the autocrine and paracrine action of vitamin D. This picture shows the effect of vitamin D and its role in immunity. Vitamin D affects both non-specific as well as the specific immunity, also known as innate immunity and adaptive immunity. Vitamin D affects all major four types of immune cell: macrophages, dendritic cell, and T cell and B cell, and large number of pathways which are responsible in immunity are stimulated by vitamin D, and it is one of the very potent immunomodulator, and thus it is quite effective in various viral infections. The conclusion from the vitamin D study in HIV infection: number one, vitamin D deficiency may contribute to pathogenesis of HIV by negatively modulating innate and adaptive immunity responses. Low vitamin D levels promote inflammation and activation of immune system, which increases the risk of non-AIDS related morbidity and mortality in HIV patient. And third, vitamin D supplementation could be useful as a prophylaxis to reverse the alteration in immune system due to vitamin D deficiency.